amazing to like yeah, as I was saying, it's so amazing to be able to like re-listen to some of the old recordings and see how like I've progressed and things have changed over time, you know.
Well, that was the purpose, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope that we can continue even though we took a long break for my second year of med school. I'm so grateful to know you and like I learned a lot from you for sure and even from our few conversations that we've had together and I hope that we can continue like every now and then, maybe every couple months or so.
Well, whenever
Uh-huh.
you need it, because see,
Hmm.
right now you're on a different level now,
Yeah, yeah.
and so your level now, a lot of the things that we talked about before, you already fill those gaps in.
Yeah. Exactly. And some of the things you told me were very influential to me. Like, I think in the recording that I listened to, which made me reach out to you again from before, it was like I was talking about how I think I'm gonna have to give up my dreams and passions. You know, how I love art and
Right,
photography and
right.
literature and philosophy. Sorry, I thought I would have to give those up in order to be a doctor and that I would lose my identity. And I was telling you about that back in 2021. But now I realized I found ways to incorporate those things. And like I told you, I want to be a pathologist and it's art, basically, looking
It
at
is.
tissues under a microscope.
Right.
It's so beautiful and it is, there's a philosophical, it's a universe at a small scale. There is a philosophical component to it as well. So it's not like I'm giving anything up. I'm actually using everything even more by being a doctor. And
Oh
like
yes. I
it's
mean,
more enriching. Yeah.
it's a high level, man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Very, very structured, very disciplined, and not only horizontally but vertically as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, and it's life. Like we're studying life, and I think that's the most beautiful thing to study. And I know now that I'm not doing it for the wrong reasons because a lot of people do become a doctor for the wrong reasons because of how they will appear, like how they'll look and how much money they'll make and things like that. But I had to I also had a wrong reason. I was initially doing it because my mom wanted me to, but now I have a good reason, a right reason, and I'm doing it because it's beautiful and I'm learning so much and I can
Right, right.
appreciate life at a different level, higher level.
So now, I mean, honestly, the way I look at it is doing what going to med school and the time and money you invest in it. How
Hmm.
does that pan out in the long run? Because you're going to pay back $100,000 worth of debt, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
can you really live?
Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of money to pay back, but I know like I'm confident that when we become a doctor, we do make a lot of money. And for me, it's like either way, I'm going to be living my life. And it's not like I need that much money in order to my lifestyle is not like a fancy lifestyle. I don't go out to restaurants every night and every weekend and go on vacation. So I think I'll be fine with paying my debts back. And my mom is a doctor. I'm so grateful again. Like, I think I'm changing my attitude toward my mom because she's working. She works so hard
Yes,
and she is
right,
helping me. She's gonna help me pay back my loans.
right. So you see, this is the benefit of having you in the right place at the right time. You couldn't see it. Now you can see.
Right. Yeah. And yes. And I think this is a huge shift and I think I've matured a lot from
So like,
last year even.
right, this is a different person I'm speaking with today.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a more mature person.
Yes, definitely. And you know how this is something very important that I wanted to tell you because I remember you told me about this return of Saturn, something like
Yes,
that, like every
Saturn return,
27 years.
28 years.
Yeah, yeah, 28 years. And my 27th birthday was on March 3rd, and now I'm between 27 and 28. And a lot of things have changed in my life, in my personal life, and also in like my internal like academics,
Yes.
every aspect of my
Right.
life. Like
Right.
I and I suffered a lot this earlier this year in the spring. That was the hardest time in my life, like with school mentally and
And now
even
stop. That's Saturn
yeah,
return. That's Saturn.
yeah, yes,
It makes you like, whoa, it turns you inside out, upside down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I said before life was like pap, 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 and now it's like pap, pap.
yeah,
Oh man, my God, I used to be able to do this and nothing would, but now I can't. What's wrong?
yeah, yeah. It was the craziest. Like I literally wanted to die. Not die, but
I
like
know,
I
right? I
just
know,
had
right?
so many. I was going through so much. Yeah. And I was thinking about you at that time because I remembered that you told me about that. And it's so true now that I'm experiencing it myself. I feel like it's a very it's a real thing because initially I didn't believe you. I was like, oh, I don't really know if I'll buy that, but now I do. I really do believe in that.
Well, I mean, you've been tested by fire. That's why you believe it.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it
And
doesn't matter what I
my
say,
life
right?
really
It doesn't matter what I say. You experienced it, so now you know.
right, right. And I'm so grateful I did. Like I can't go back to being I mean it actually started on my 27th birthday. I remember I met with my pathology professor on my 27th birthday. It was Friday, March 3rd, and I wanted help. I asked for help on studying for the exams for the spring quarter because I had failed the winter quarter. And I'll never forget that conversation. And like he really inspired me a lot, my pathology professor. And I started believing in myself in a different way since then. And I started looking at medicine and everything in a different way. And that's why I decided I want to be a pathologist. And then a lot of things changed since then. It's just, um, I, yeah, and that's what I want to say. My 27th birthday was when my life changed.
Mm. Well, good for you, man. Well, I mean, see,
Yeah.
like, that's knowledge that you have, right?
Yes.
And many of your colleagues, although they go through the process, don't have that knowledge because they don't know what was going on.
Right. Right. And a lot of people don't seek to develop themselves like from their experiences. And I think counseling, I do go to counseling at my school. Like I see a counselor every 2 weeks. Her
Mhm.
name uh her name is Brandy and I see her. Yeah, and I saw her since I started med school and it's nice. That's another constant. Like I was talking about constants.
Yes,
Having someone to see how you grow through medical school. She's a constant for me in medical school and
yes.
I even she told me that she's watched me change before her eyes and it's nice. I mean, we need to work on ourselves. Like it's not enough to grow in knowledge academically, but we also have to grow in like wisdom and self development.
Right. So let's say, so that's so important. Daniel Coleman.
Is it Daniel Kahneman or
No,
I
he's
know that it's a
he's a I think he's a
Coleman?
yeah, I think he's a Harvard or MIT uh professor or something like that. But he did a series
Hmm.
on like you have IQ, right? He does the
Yes.
EQ.
Hmm.
He does EQs, emotional intelligence. And they
Hmm.
did
Hmm.
this survey, he did a survey where they had all these people had, A+ averages and all that stuff in business.
Hmm.
But he noticed that even though they had high intelligence quotients, because of the low
Hmm.
emotional intelligence, they weren't doing as well as they should have been
Hmm.
in their work environment.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that what I'm getting at is that makes a huge difference, even though someone may have a higher GPA and
Hmm.
they have a high intellectual quotient, but they have a low emotional quotient, meaning how they interact with people, primarily with people in themselves.
Yeah. Hmm.
That puts you in a better situation.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, being emotionally intelligent is much more important in the long run because we have people who are very smart, but they're uh not, I mean, I'm not saying all people are like this, but a lot of smart people I know, for example, and even among my classmates, are not good people. Like they would cheat. I mean, some people do cheat. It's inevitable in higher level institutions. There are some people who cheat to get ahead, but some people, yeah, they have like they're very, I don't know, they don't understand like how to be have empathy and love other people and care for other people in a selfless way. And I think we have to in order to be emotionally intelligent, we have to be able to put ourselves in another person's shoes and see how things must be from their perspective. And yeah, and that's
Well,
something that
so
mm,
let me ask you this then. If that's true, right? Then
yeah.
we could take a guy like Hitler, right? And we're going
Hmm.
to look at the world from his perspective, right? No, right? We wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So what do you mean
N-
when you say that? Because
no.
yeah.
But yeah.
So what do you mean when you say it? Because if
But
you
you know, a lot of sorry.
go ahead, a lot of what?
I was gonna say like people who do things, evil things such as what Hitler did in their mind, and I read this somewhere, but in their mind, that whatever they're doing, it makes perfect sense to them in their mind. There's a reason why people do bad things, and like it's not to justify what they're doing, like Hitler or Ted Bundy or whoever these
Anybody,
bad
right?
people.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But in their mind, if we really like were to see how their things from their perspective, there's a reason for why they do the things they do. They have, but whether even if it's like very like horrible, they some people, I mean, they do have a reason. But anyway, I think it's uh still important for us to have empathy for most people. Not
Yes,
everyone, but
I agree. But there are two things.
mhm,
There are two things. One, I'll get back to that later. But first, see, let's take it to another level. We're talking about empathy and treating people the way we think they should be treated. But in the final analysis, does it really matter? Because E equals MC squared. I mean, like, you know, what? Because if I'm an extension of you, you're an extension of me, then we're all extensions of all these bad people as well.
mhm, mhm. Right, that's exactly what you said. Now, what you just said, we meet ourselves. We something we meet no one but ourselves, right?
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So now,
Yeah, and
and so if we're the ones who are creating all this scenario, we're the creators, right?
yeah, yeah.
Then there must be some benefit for me to create this scenario. Or take
Hmm.
it to another level. Suppose you believe in just some divine source that makes everything, right?
Hmm.
That's in
Hmm.
charge of everything.
Hmm.
Well, the divine source must have a reason for making bad people, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's to teach humanity a lesson, or even those people are necessary for pushing humanity forward, even
Yeah, right. You know what I'm
because we
saying?
yeah, because every little action in history, whether even if it's at a small scale, like something one person chooses to do that leads to something else. Let's say one person like gets in a car accident and kills another person, and that person what might have done something great or done something evil that would have
Right,
changed the
right,
world.
right, right,
You
right,
know,
right.
everything has a chain reaction, and that's why every little thing that happens in the world is very important, whether we see it or not.
So like here's the story, right? I think I told you this one.
Mhm.
You got um back in the old days, uh
Mhm.
a man bought his son a horse. And everybody in
Mhm.
the village said, "Oh, what a beautiful horse. What a fortunate boy." And the boy gets on the horse, he rides around, the horse throws him off, and the boy breaks his leg. Everybody says, "Oh
Mhm.
man, what a horrible event, that was just a bad thing. The son can't walk now."
Mhm.
2 or 3 weeks later, the military come by and take all able-bodied men. They
Mhm.
couldn't take the boy because his leg was broken.
Mhm.
So was it a good or a bad thing?
It was a good thing in the overall, in the end, in the long run, it was a good thing because he would have his life would have, I don't know, for the better or for worse, but
We
probably
don't
have
we
been
don't
worse.
know. We don't
Yeah.
know because he could have been in the army. He could have
Mm.
saved the whole army or something. Who knows what could have happened? We don't know.
Right. We'll never know
That's
what could
right.
have happened.
Right. So therefore, we should guard our judgments, right?
Right. Yeah, and everyone, they always say we have 20/20 hindsight.
Yes,
Like when we
yes.
look back,
Right.
there's a reason for why things have happened the way they happened, and we can
Mm-hmm.
never know if something different happened. We'll never know whether it would have been better or worse. So we
That's
just
right.
have to be grateful for whatever happened and trust that it happened for the right reasons.
Well, all the reasons are the right reasons.
Yeah.
We just discovered that.
Yeah.
For example, if the guys you said they're in medicine for the wrong reasons, like what are the wrong reasons? To make money? I mean, if that's what they want to do, because I mean, for me personally, as a craftsman, when I was painting houses, although I
Mhm.
don't like working for doctors, they're the cheap guys. But they are. They think they know everybody's price. But
Mhm.
we need doctors because they feed a bunch, they feed electricians, plumbers, painters, they feed everybody.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
want you guys to make a lot of money. I do.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. But my question is, how much money can you make? Because it's not like in the old days, it was the wild, wild west when you charging up the gazoo. Now you got insurance people regulating your fees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different. So I admire anyone who's going to go through that process, depriving themselves what we consider to be the good life, whatever that is,
Mhm.
going into debt, dedicating yourself to this job, and then
Mhm.
you get out, man, and like you have to you can't become a millionaire being a doctor. You got to make the money you make. You got to invest that money something that can make you money, right? That's how that goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Uh, Definitely a difficult life, or I mean, it's challenging, but yeah, we have to going back to what you were talking about, how like doing things for the wrong reason. And I know sometimes I like catch myself also like judging people, but you never know. As we were talking about before, we don't know what the wrong reasons or the right reasons are because we don't know what's going on in
Yeah.
another person's life. Like maybe they really need money because they grew up poor and they don't have anyone else supporting them, but they maybe have to support a family, like
Right.
children, and
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you know. So what I'm saying is, right, I'm in my lane, I'm gonna stay in my lane.
yeah.
We all on the highway, Route 80, going the same
Mhm.
way, you know. But I mean, I'm gonna stay in my lane, and you can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. I'm not gonna judge you for that.
Right, right, and that's something I read in an audiobook or heard in an audiobook I listened to, like, recently was keep your mind at home. So, like, don't, meddle in other people's business. Keep your mind at home because it can achieve more there than elsewhere. So you can achieve more if you just keep your mind on yourself and your own business instead of trying to see or get involved with why other people are doing what they're doing and what their life is about.
Well,
Focus on yourself.
you ever see that cartoon movie called Kung Fu Panda?
Yes. Hmm.
All right. Remember when Uguay's talking to Kung Fu Panda and he says, the past is history.
Right. I remember that line. The the
Right.
future is the
A mystery.
past is history, the future is
A mystery.
mystery, and the present is a gift.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now, right? The only
Mhm.
thing that's really real in our equations is right now, not the past, not the future, is right now.
Yes. Yes.
Anything other than that is a delusion.
Right.
So stay at home is correct. That's the only place you should be. But we've conditioned ourselves to, rummage in the future or in the past. And he did this, we're going to do that. The test next week to be. But take this, right? If you could just find just 5 minutes a day, right? Hello, you got me?
Hello. Yeah.
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 If you could take 5 minutes a day just to stay in the present, in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
just 5 minutes using your breathing, stay in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because see,
Yeah.
it's hard to do because your mind, because you're thinking about this, that, and the other thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
that's your daily activity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to give you some mystical pathology. You can imagine looking inside your system, what's going on inside there, right?
Yeah.
It's all like chaotic, man.
Right. Right.
And you know that one cell is going to impact another cell and one organ, all that kind of stuff, right? Chain reaction.
Yes. Yes.
So take 5 minutes and call me in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, yes, you've matured, but now's the
Mhm.
time to step into the maturity, you know, of a grown-up.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about with the Saturn return, like, this is a shift from childhood and youth to adulthood. I do feel that. I
Yes.
definitely feel that this year.
I mean, it's a different
Mm,
person, right?
yeah, I can't go back. I really,
No, you can't go back. You can't. Mhm.
I imagined being like in my life, in my body from 25 when I was 25, 26, and I can't. I like don't want to because I just know too much and I've been through too much in just a few months that
Yeah,
I
you don't
can't unsee and
you don't
unexperience.
you don't you don't fit in that body anymore.
Right. I don't. I don't. Mhm.
So if anything, just try 5 minutes a day. Right?
Mhm.
You need
Mhm.
5 minutes.
Mhm.
You've forgotten that. You have to do 5 minutes a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm being very sneaky. I'm gonna start you at 5 minutes, but you're gonna find out that you'll need more because it's so refreshing. But just try
Yeah.
five minutes a day for 7 days. Just 5 minutes. The
Mhm.
same time
Mhm.
every day.
Mhm.
It's another
I love
discipline,
it.
but it's a discipline, it's a vertical discipline that you're not getting in school. What are your vertical
Yeah.
disciplines that you're using now? Your vertical
Um
tools.
um I am, well, I have a non-negotiable things I do every day. Three things. First of all, I exercise. I started exercising. Maybe that's also part of the reason why my life changed this year because I did when I turned 27, I started exercising every morning and
Mhm.
at the gym for 30 minutes. And
Oh,
I
okay.
don't yeah, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do crazy things and be like, like go very hard. I go on the treadmill, I do a few of the weight machines, and then I do a little bit of elliptical and come home. But every day, and it helps me because I don't do anything else while I exercise. I just listen to music and do that. And then I started a YouTube channel back in 2022 January, and I have almost 100 videos there now. I didn't tell you this, but I do that. I make a video every day
Okay.
on talking about a topic that I've journaled about. And the third thing I do is journaling.
Okay, great.
Journal every day. So
Okay,
those are
yeah.
my three vertical
Okay,
ways of vertical development, I guess,
very good. Okay, well, you're on it then.
hmm
Add to it 5 minutes a day.
of breathing and meditation,
No,
right?
no radio,
Hmm.
no sounds, just
Hmm.
you. Now, the
Hmm.
idea is not to, it's to still the thinking, not to
Hmm.
eliminate thinking, just to still your mind in the present.
Right.
That's
Hmm.
why it's a gift. That's all we have at the moment.
Yes, it's all we have, and we never know when we're gonna what the future holds, and the past is
What
gone.
future? There is no future.
Yeah, it's all we only have now. We
That's
only
right. You
have
see what I'm saying?
now.
You see,
Yeah,
see how we're conditioned,
yeah.
right?
Mhm,
We're speaking fallacies. We're speaking heresy. Future. What's the future? I don't know.
mhm, mhm.
Oh, wait. Here's what the guy says. You know Eckhart Tolle?
Yes, yes.
He was on I caught one of his talks, and he says he lived in London, and there was a saying at this bar. It says, "Free beer tomorrow."
Mhm.
Well, tomorrow never came. It's always the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
every
true.
day. Yeah, you know.
There's a song, actually by one of my favorite singers. She's my favorite singer of my generation, Lana Del Rey. She has a song called "Tomorrow Never Came." I don't
Oh,
remember the lyrics exactly, but I think all of her songs are very kind of philosophical because she studied philosophy at Fordham University, and so she incorporates that in all her songs. But
okay.
I have a feeling that the lyrics of those songs are very similar to that idea that tomorrow, like, we were always waiting for tomorrow, but tomorrow never came.
Never came, man. Never
Yeah.
came. Really.
Mhm.
So that's I would just to add to your other routines, try to stay in the present as much as you can,
Yeah. Yeah,
because making a podcast every day and posting, that's work.
it is.
You know, although it's feeding your creativity, but I'm talking about something
Mhm.
that you don't do, that you in other words, you know the concept of wu wei in Chinese. It's called like
No.
effortless effort.
Yeah. That's so good. I need to write that down. Sorry. That sounds like something I've been looking for something like that because I'm surrounded by people, including myself sometimes, who I feel like I have to be forceful and like rush to do things well. Like I have to be like going hard. But like that's a very good idea. Effortless effort. Like when we are poised, peaceful, and calm, that's when we're most powerful, actually.
Yeah,
When we're,
okay. I mean, the poet has spoken. That's true,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
I'm
that's what I'm
gonna
trying to
learn.
get across with respect to the 5 minutes.
Hmm.
It's just you don't even have to breathe. Just try to still your mind. The breathing will help. You're going to need that, but after a while, you'll see just by being there, it's like it's effortless. You don't do anything, but inside your body's always working. I don't mean on a physiological. I mean a metaphysical physiology. It's how you close your eyes and see all that stuff moving around
Yeah, yeah,
like that. So you still, but there's activity going on, right? You don't do anything. The activity's still working.
right, right. It's very wise. It's very true. Hello?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
I,
that's such a good idea. I'm gonna write that down. I journal every day, and I think today I'm gonna explore the topic that you just told me about, effortless effort. That phrase is just when you said that, it really struck a chord within me because I used to be like that too, but I fear that at sometimes being in such a high pressure environment and
oh
always having
yes,
things to do has
right, right.
ruined that
It has,
idea for me.
right.
Hmm.
But see, now you're the adult,
Hmm.
and you're gonna regain. Let's call that your Peter Pan, right?
Hmm.
You're gonna
Hmm.
regain that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got you jumping and hopping, and you're right. You got to do that. But the thing is, now's the time to start taking that back.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I would just say, you know, if you can do that, uh, you'll be a step in the right direction. Even though you're making the post, that to me is like work. You want something
Mm,
that's not work. You want something
mhm.
that's kind of like rejuvenate you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, William. That's a very good lesson for me to learn for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's all we need to talk about today, right?
Yeah. And uh but yeah, I'm so happy that I got to talk with you after so long. And I think as I was saying before about constants in life and having like these conversations with you, although we've never met in person and it's just some like every few weeks or months or even a year later, like just an hour or two on Zoom, it's just so impactful. As we were talking about horizontal versus vertical, like development and everything, this is depth. Like even though we are such a short time talking together and spending time on Zoom, it has a lot of depth and it changes. You've changed my life a lot, even though you don't know it. Like the things that you've said before to me have stayed in my mind, such as the
Oh,
Saturn
good. Okay.
return thing and
Great.
breathing and we meet no one but ourselves. Like those things have I've thought about those things a lot, and I do think about like how you taught them to me. So I hope you know that you changed my life
Well, I'm here
and
to help.
contributed.
But here's
Mhm.
here's the deal. The thing is, see, we don't have to talk a lot now because you're a different person.
Yeah.
Before there was the need to talk a lot, but now we don't.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
what we do say is impactful enough to be understood for, long periods of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I thank you for being in my circle,
Hmm.
and I'm very proud of you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, William. And I'm very grateful for you to be in my circle as well. And I told you that I'm reducing the size of my circle
Oh
because a lot
yes.
of people are not, they're not at that same, like my interactions were, they're not serving me with some people. So I just had to cut down my circle. But I, you are one person that I would like to keep in my circle because
Oh, of course.
I, yeah,
Anytime you want to hit me up, go ahead and do so.
hmm I will. And I'll keep you updated. And for sure, after I start my rotations in a month, at the end of August, at some point I hope
Hey,
that I can catch up with you.
Luna,
Hmm.
when you do, you do.
Hmm.
Okay?
Right, right. I will. Thank
Right.
you, William.
It's like, you know, you're doing well horizontally, and I need you to work on your vertical. What, like they say for the NBA
Hmm.
basketball. What's his vertical? 4 feet?
Hmm.
Oh, he can do a 7 foot vertical. Wow. 7 foot vertical? Man, he's only 5'2". He can do a 7 foot vertical. Man, he can fly, Jack. Anyway, yes. All right. So let's stay in touch. I'll get this over to you as soon as I can.
Hmm.
I'll run them off over in there and in the YouTube. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And I have a list, like I have a note on my computer with all of the YouTube videos, like the links that you've sent me. So
Oh, okay.
I do watch them. It's not like, I value everything. Nothing goes to waste with me. So everything like in general, I've always been this way, but with the conversations that we've had together, I have listened to some of them over again and it's very valuable. And I think things like this, including just like with journaling, like when you look back over time, it gains in value because you
Yes. Right.
see it,
Right. Right.
see it from the perspective of everything that has happened since that time when we did that or created that or
Like,
talked about that.
when I was in Madrid, I was going for my master's degree. I kept a journal, right?
Hmm.
And I brought it home with me. And years later, I read it and I said, I wrote that? My goodness. I
Hmm.
don't believe that, such, so journaling is a good thing. It's a good thing.
It is, yeah. And this is a type of journal for us, for me at least. It's a
Yes.
way of it's a kind of a video conversation journal
Yeah, yeah.
for
What they
me.
call
Mhm.
a vlog, right? A vlog or something like that. A video
Yeah,
vlog.
vlog, and it's even more benefit. Yeah. And it like when I listen to these vlogs, I just feel like I can see myself learning from you like in real time. Like the things you say is, for example, the effortless effort. That's very I just learned that from you now, and
That's
I when I re huh? Yeah, when I rewatch this, I'll feel like, oh wow, that in that moment, there was a shift in my
okay.
attitude when he said effortless effort. So it's very good for sure.
Okay, my dear. I'll let you get back to your early Saturday morning up there. You gonna go out for a walk or what?
I will. I have a lot of chores to take care of at home, and I'm just gonna stay at home, do some journaling, and I have to continue studying for my boards. I'll exercise later today, but I'll take 5 minutes, as you said, to just
Hey,
do nothing, just be in the
hey,
moment,
you know, write that down. How it feels like in your journal after the 5 minutes. Man, feels good. I'm gonna do it again.
and make it 10 minutes and
Yeah,
15
there
minutes,
you
and
go. All
then
right.
even longer.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. Thank you so much,
All right.
William, for
All right. Take
taking
care now.
time to
Right.
talk to me. All right, take
Be
care.
at
Bye.
peace. Regards to your mom too. All right.
Okay, thank you. I will.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.